What's up, guys? After a long hiatus, too long, we're back in the great outdoors with some really good food. Now, real quick, before we start, just a reminder, I'm what I call a white belt chef, and this show is founded on 3 principles. There's only 3 things I want to accomplish when I do this show. Number 1, appreciate the great outdoors. Number 2, appreciate the food. Number 3, have a good time. I'm not a professional chef. You're going to see me do a lot of stuff wrong, but I'm learning as I go. And I think we're gonna have a good time out here. So I picked up some charcoal, and I picked up some oak. I had a smell from there was mesquite, there was pecan, and there was oak, and I had a smell of each, and I thought the oak would go well with what we're doing today. Again, could be the wrong choice, but it just struck me as right. Ugh. Ice chest open. Let me show you guys what I got. Very excited. Look at that. St. Louis style pork ribs, and they are pre-seasoned. Look at that. I got these for a steal. I got these from the Chapel Hill Barbecue and Bakery during a trip to film something for my other channel, a fishing trip. All right, got our shovel. We're gonna dig a hole. Just like that. Pretty good. Yeah, first try. Alright, having to film this bit with a GoPro because I'm having trouble getting the camera stand where I want it. So apologies for any difference in the audio, but here's our 2 halves of ribs here. And what we're going to do is, let's do this one, normal. This is very basic, very cheap brand of barbecue sauce, but it's pretty good. Sweet Baby Ray's. It's kind of my go-to. And I'm not going to be subtle about what I'm doing here. Just put some on like that. There we go. Now real quick, before I start, spreading that around or anything, let's get our tin foil out here. There we go. Put this one down over here, and let's go once more. It's very hard to do this without getting sand on anything. Even if you're keeping your food off of any sandy surface, you guys can tell the wind is kind of strong today. Can easily just get blown through the air onto your food. There's been many times I've been out here cooking, usually fish, and it just tastes like sand. And I couldn't imagine how. I was so careful, and then I realized it's just the wind blowing sand on your food. So you gotta be careful with that. So there, coat that side, pick it up. There we go, coat this side. Now when you're doing ribs, there's a membrane that you can pull off of the ribs. But you can see these things are so heavily seasoned. If I start looking around trying to pull a membrane off, I'm worried I'm going to lose some of the seasoning, so I'm just going to have to eat around it. Some butchers will do that for you. There we go. Not too much, just enough to kind of caramelize over the top of it. I'm going to use fancy words like that to make it seem like I know what I'm doing. There we go. And then I'm just going to wrap this very, very well, because the last thing I want is sand in my food. Go. Pinch this up tight. Just kind of roll the edges around. All right, that's that one done. Put that aside for just a second. So we're gonna cook with a little bit of this, and we're also gonna taste it as well. This is Monkey Shoulder. It's supposed to be one of the better whiskeys for those who are not really accustomed to whiskey drinking. It's kind of a good entry point. So the reason I picked this today, it's a blended scotch, and it's kind of got a lighter taste, not quite as smoky as a lot of different whiskeys that are out there, more of an apple from what I understand. And maybe that wasn't the best choice to flavor meat with, but I wanted a middle ground, something that I could cook with, so not too expensive, and something that I could taste without being overpowered, because I've only ever had one whiskey ever before, so right off the bat, I don't want to jump to something incredibly strong. Don't laugh. The only whiskey I've ever had was Proper 12. I know. First time whiskey drinker trying Proper 12, even I knew it tasted like garbage. But fun fact, did you know that for every bottle of Proper 12 that you buy, 50% of the profits actually get diverted away from a children's charity? But yeah, we're gonna give this a try. We're gonna cook a little bit with it. That's why I cut the two ends of the ribs in half. One is gonna be plain, one is gonna be cooked with a little bit of this stuff. And I'm gonna see if I can taste the difference, and if I can, see if the difference is good or bad. Now on this one, I'm gonna kind of make a little pouch here before I do anything, because I'm gonna pour some of that whiskey in it, and I don't want it running off. That would just be pointless. I wanna catch as much of that whiskey in there as possible. So we'll do first layer for the pouch, and then the second layer is what's going to go around it to kind of close it. So let's do our whiskey first. Woo! I'm excited, y'all. All right, let me smell it. Oh my God, that smells amazing. That does not smell like Proper 12. That smells good. Sorry, Conor McGregor. There we go. Just a little bit, don't want to go too much. But anyway, let's put some barbecue sauce over the top of that. You guys can see our pouch is catching all that whiskey in there. That's good. Let's turn this thing over, keeping it in that pouch. Shouldn't have corked this back up. Let's go a little more. There we go. Not too much. Don't want to waste all this whiskey. We don't want to get a lot of life out of this bottle, even though it wasn't too expensive. There we go. Let's brush some of this on. Obviously, the barbecue sauce is going to get diluted a little bit, being mixed in with whiskey. I don't know if that's going to do anything or not. Remember, guys, this is just for fun. It's an experiment. You are watching someone brand new to most types of cooking experiment. So if you're looking for a detailed instructional, you know, Gordon Ramsay has a YouTube channel. What are you doing here? All right, no whiskey, whiskey. All right, we're gonna try this whiskey now. Again, complete beginner at this. This is not even a neat glass, which is the best way to, you know, get the full effect of a whiskey. But it was the closest thing I could find for the price. Neat glasses, turns out they're really expensive. Next time. So, there's your whiskey. Just a little bit. There we go. That's all I need. Stir it around. I don't know. I do know how I'm supposed to smell it, right? It actually smells like really strong apple juice. Yeah, that smells like apple juice with like a kick. It smells like somebody mixed a little bit of rubbing alcohol into your apple juice. It smells pretty good. Let's get... Some of that smoke is coming over here. It's not the whiskey, I promise. I'm not that much of a lightweight. Let's give it a try. Again, first timer. You know, it has a taste of apples. It's like biting into a Red Delicious and then getting the effect of alcohol, you know, stinging the tongue a little bit, burning a little bit on the way down. Something you get past with more experience, but I have yet to really kind of deal with that much. So yeah, it kind of tastes like spiked apple juice. Not bad. I could drink that. Wow, look at that. That right there is gorgeous. That looks really good. You can see the barbecue sauce kind of crusted up a little bit. Maybe that was too much heat too quickly for it. But let's get this out of the tin foil onto the cutting board. There we go. Just put that right there. That looks incredible. Let's find our mark right here. You guys can see there's a boom, perfect. Let's go again, right here. That's amazing. Wow. There's the finished product. That looks so good. And it's done all the way through too. That was something I was a little bit concerned about, not being able to gauge the temperature, you know, beyond kind of an educated guess cooking pork. But man, that turned out perfect. Let's have a bite. All right, here we go. Big rib, beautiful rib. Have a go at this. That is absolutely amazing. That tastes so good. I'm going to credit the butcher that seasoned this, not myself, obviously. But man, it tastes absolutely delicious. Whew, that is fine. Look at that. You guys can see the way the sauce kind of caramelized on top of it. I think a little too much here. Kind of got a little flaky there. I think that probably got a little too hot. I maybe should have let the fire die down a little bit more, but yeah, it is nice and tender. I mean, it's not going to fall off the bone like if I do the shake. It's not that tender because we didn't cook it that slow. It cooked for about an hour, 30 minutes on each side. But man, that turned out really well. I'm going to finish eating this one, and then we're going to try the whiskey one. Beautiful. That's good. It's messy and it's delicious. And that's the only two things that really a rib should be. Messy and delicious. Barbecue is maybe the quintessential outdoor food. If I had to think of one, cooking it indoors is almost an injustice. There's not a lot of food you can say that about. Everything's better outdoors for the most part, but there are very few foods that I think get significantly affected in a negative way by being cooked indoors. I think barbecue is one of them. Barbecue outside always. And I don't know if it would surprise you or not, but I can eat a shocking amount of food in one sitting. I could probably do both of these ribs. I'd get sick at the end of it, but I could do it. Woo! This one has the monkey shoulder whiskey in it. So we're gonna see if we can taste any difference here. Guys, just look at that. That is just beautiful. All right, we've got our monkey shoulder cooked ribs. And we're gonna give it a go here. Yeah, a little bit of char. You guys can see the golden color on that bone. Really, really beautiful. Yeah, that looks good. That looks delicious. Let's get into that. I'm looking for that whiskey. It's really good, but I'm looking for that whiskey in it. There it is. There it is. Candy apple. That is what it tastes like a candied apple. That's damn good. Wow, I didn't think it would come through, to be honest. Being a more mild whiskey. You know, like I said earlier, it's made for mixed drinks. It's a little bit less expensive, and it's supposed to be kind of an entry point whiskey. So it's not really going to hit you with a lot of smoky, peaty flavors. But that candy apple flavor, it's there. That is just delicious. I could eat that all day, but I'd hate myself at the end of the day, so we're not going to do that. I am going to finish off this rib, though. I'm going to make sure we bury the coals here. We're done for the day. There we go. You don't want to start a fire, and it's easier than you think. Alright guys, that'll do it for us today. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. When you subscribe, hit the bell. That way when I upload a video, you get the notification straight away. Check out our other channel, Wildlife. It's a fishing show. It's the one we started with. If you have any recipe recommendations, shoot them my way. Also, if you have any whiskey recommendations, somebody without a lot of whiskey experience, you think you know something I might like to try, or should try on the show, put it in the comments below. I'll see what I can do. Remember, this is not a how-to or an instructional. White belt chef, just having fun. Appreciate the outdoors, appreciate the food, have a good time. Keep eating and drinking outdoors because it's better that way. I'll see you guys later.